Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I can create this abstract loop in Blender. So let's get started. First let's delete everything and add a cylinder. Now go into edit mode, press 1 on the numpad, Ctrl R, and this should roughly be a square. Now rotate it on the on the Y by 90 degrees, and SX scale it like this. Now Ctrl 3 to add a subdivision surface, go into edit mode and press 3 to go to face selection and select both faces. Now delete and delete faces. Go to modifiers and add a displace modifier and set the render to 3 here. So add a displace modifier, new, and press on this button here and set it to clouds. Set the size to 2. Now, Control A, apply the scale. Now go into top view and move it on the X like this. Add an empty. Now select it again and go to the modifiers and add a mirror modifier. Choose the empty as the mirror object and check clipping, just to be sure. Now let's duplicate the empty 2 times. Select the cylinder again and under the displace modifier set the coordinates to object. Select the empty 001, and now if we select the empty and move, scale or rotate it, we can see that the modifier is affected by that. Select the cylinder and shade smooth. Now let's select the cylinder and the first empty and press M, new collection, and simply call it collection 2. Now let's press Shift A, collection instance and collection 2. Move that on the X like this, so that it connects to the first collection. Now Shift A again and add it about 3 more times, so that it loops properly. And I'm going to add it one last time for now. Oops. Now let's add a camera and move it on the X to -8. Or wait, move it to -10. That's my mistake. For the rotation, set everything to 0 for now, and now rotate it on the Y by 90, -90, and on the X by 90. Now keyframe the X location, go to frame 250 and set it to 10. Keyframe it again. Now in the timeline press T and set it to linear so that it loops properly without speeding up and slowing down. Now go back to frame 1, select the empty 002, go into camera view and shift select the camera and Control P object, so that whenever we move the camera the empty will move along with it. Now add a light, point light, and do the same here, Control P. And now if we press play, we have this. Now select empty 001 and keyframe the Y rotation on frame 1. And on frame 250, set it to 360 and keyframe it again. Now press A because I made a little mistake We need to move all the keyframes from 250 to 251. Now let's select the cylinder and go to shading, go to rendered view, and I'm going to use cyclers for this. Make sure you're on frame 1 by the way, so let's go back to layout mode and frame 1. Go to shading again and make the world black. Now go into camera view. With the cylinder selected, let's press new and add a color ramp and set it to HSL and far. Now make the black red and the white blue. Now we have this rainbow scheme or whatever it's called connected to the color. Now let's add a layer width and connect the facing to the factor. Bring in the red to somewhere around here and the blue here. Now make it metallic and also set the roughness to 0. Now select the camera and go to the object data properties, check depth of field and select the last empty. And now let's select that empty here and again Shift select the camera and then Control P. And now let's select the camera again and set the f-stop to 1.5. For the render properties, I'm going to run it at 128 samples and with denoise enabled. And if you have an NVIDIA GPU, you can use optics or OpenImage denoise. If you don't, then you can only use OpenImage denoise, but I have one, so I'm going to use optics because I prefer it. Now you can render the animation into separate images and then compile them into a video. If you want to learn how to compile image sequences into a video, I've got a dedicated video for that, and the link for that will be on screen now. So that's it with the tutorial. I hope you liked it, and please let me know what I should do next. I'll see you next time.